What is up, guys? You are watching Marshall Sports. This is the show where we simply talk about sports and absolutely nothing else because nothing else really matters. Today is December 19th, 2019. Today I am joined by Mr. Sterling, Mr. Jeff, Mr. Joseph, and Miss Natalie Gale Marshall. We are on the eve of the college football bowl season. It's hard to believe that it's all coming to an end so quick, but that is just the way it is. But we will deal with the sadness of off-season when the time comes. For now, we have a very fun episode to record for you guys. This is the 2019 College Football Bowl Game Special, where we will be picking against the spread for notable bowl games, and we will compete to see who can get most of the picks correctly. So as I said, we've picked 14 games, and we are just going to go down the list, rapid fire, tell us who you think's going to win, and we'll see who picks the most correct games at the end. So first off, we got the Las Vegas Bowl at Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. We got Washington and Boise State. Boise State is sitting at a 3.5-point underdog. Sterling, who you got for this game?
Yeah, I'm picking Washington to cover, honestly. I just think, they got a good quarterback in Jacob Eason. He's kind of, been inconsistent, but I think Washington just has the talent gap there. I think they're going to cover.
All right, Jeff, who you got?
Hey, give me Boise State. I love the blue field. I can't get enough of it, so give me Boise State.
So the blue field isn't going to help them this time, though. But I mean, we'll see. Maybe it's those blue uniforms or whatever they got going on. Joseph, who you got?
I got Washington U in this one. I think their offensive efficiency is a little bit better than Boise State, so I'm going to take Washington U.
There you go. Nat, who you got?
Taking Washington because I like the guys at College Football Game Day.
There you go. There you go. So I am going to go with my Boise State boys. I like that they get that half a point. I think they can keep it within a field goal. Give me Boise State, and that's a dub for me. All right, so I knew this one was going to come up quick. Our boys from A&M College Station, they are playing in Houston, Texas, against an old Big 12 foe, Oklahoma State. Right now, A&M is sitting at a 7-point favorite. I know that Gundy said that A&M is the best 7-5 team in college football history. We will see if we agree with that. Sterling, who you got?
Yeah, honestly, I saw that comment too, and I think he was just being funny with it. But honestly, I'm going to take A&M in this one. Mm-hmm. I'm going to pick Jimbo to cover against the 50-year-old I am a man, Mike Gundy.
Classic.
I believe he's 50 now, so I guess we might have another speech from him. But yeah, I think we're going to have a nice bounce back game, and now that we're refreshed, kind of off that crazy schedule, I think we come back and make a statement and cover this one.
Well, there you go. Jeff, what do you think?
Give me Oklahoma State at +7.
Ooh, the unbiased opinion, huh?
Yeah. Unbiased.
Until A&M.
Most unbiased state.
Prove me otherwise. And,
hey, fair point. Joseph, what do you think?
I'm going to have to go with Oklahoma State for this one with the spread. I think it's going to be a nail-biter. Oklahoma State is going to be the best matchup for A&M to win, but I don't think we're going to win by too much, so I think Oklahoma State with the spread.
All right. Nat, do you agree?
I'm also going to choose Oklahoma State because I finally witnessed TAMU against Kansas State in the same bowl game a couple years ago, and it was a little depressing. So I'm not going to get my hopes up, and I'm going to go with Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I hate that you brought up that Kansas State game because that was such an annoying game to go to. And it was at NRG, like you said. So, yeah, I'm actually going to go with A&M this time, my unbiased opinion, because I just believe that A&M is the better team here. I think they're going to come out with a lot of heart. Jimbo's going to have them wound up, and hopefully Oklahoma State comes out rusty because that'd be really embarrassing to lose to an old Big 12 opponent. All right, moving on. We got USC and Iowa in the Holiday Bowl out in San Diego, California. So basically a home game for USC. Iowa sitting at a 2-point favorite. Sterling, who are you taking?
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Iowa Midwestern Farmer Boys to cover against the USC Southern California Hippie Boys. I just think Iowa's a good team. I think the old school, Midwest punch them in the mouth mentality, wins over, and the Farmers end up, fighting on and taking this one pretty easily. I think USC is just kind of a weak team this year for whatever reason, and I think they cover. So
fair enough, Jeff.
Well, I don't think Sterling and his Farmer boys are going to come into USC and they're going to be beaten down by USC. I'll take that 2 points.
Okay. Joseph?
Yeah, I'm going to take USC for this one. I don't think the Farmer Boys have it this time, especially with this being so close to Southern California.
Nat?
I'm going to choose Iowa. I have no reason.
Hey, fair enough. So I want to pick Iowa because, like Sterling said, this is the kind of team that just comes in and beats teams up. And USC, I think their program is in turmoil at the moment. I'm not really sure what's going to come of them in the next couple of years. But I always think of these teams from the Midwest or the East Coast headed out to Southern California, sort of like Hawaii. They take it as sort of a vacation. And this is this is when they get taken advantage of. So I still got to go with Iowa, though. Go with Iowa, laying the 2, book it.
Go Hawkeyes, baby.
In the Cheez-Its Bowl in Phoenix, Arizona, we have Washington State and Air Force. Air Force is currently a 3-point favorite. Sterling, who are you taking?
I'm going to pick Washington State, honestly. I don't know a lot about either one of these teams. I just feel like I feel like they're going to have the upset, So I'm picking them to win by more than 3 points, actually.
Jeffrey Lee?
Yep. As I eat my Cheez-Its during this game, I will take Air Force and definitely in the -3.
Joseph?
Oh, definitely Washington State for this one. Just have a gut feeling they're going to run away with it.
Cat?
I also choose Washington State. My Washingtons this time.
And I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you guys. I think Washington State's offense is too high-powered. I think Leach is going to have it coming out swinging. They're going to take care of the Air Force, and that's going to be the end of it. It's going to be another point for me. All right, we got Iowa State and Notre Dame in the Camping World Bowl in Orlando, Florida. Notre Dame is currently a 3.5-point favorite. Sterling, who you got for this?
I'm gonna pick Notre Dame to cover on this one. I'm a big Ian Book fan. I mean, he's a great quarterback. I mean, I just think he's a good. I'm not sure if he's going to play in the NFL, but I just think his dual threat ability and their overall talent advantage is just gonna kind of come through in this one. And I'm picking Notre Dame to cover the spread.
All right, Deffer.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame looked really good against Georgia really early in the year. They're really good, solid all year. I think Notre Dame runs away with this one, and I'll take the -3.5.
Joseph?
Yeah, I don't think either team's going to run away with it, but I'm going to pick Notre Dame.
Nat?
Notre Dame.
Yeah, this one's an interesting one to me because Iowa State is always a team that can randomly get an upset on a team like Notre Dame, but they just haven't looked like that strong upset team that they have been in the past. I think Notre Dame pulls away at the end. Give me Notre Dame. I'm going to lay the 3.5. All right, in the Cotton Bowl up in Arlington, well, down for me, up for you guys. We got Memphis and Penn State. Penn State is currently a 7-point favorite. This is the matchup where the non-Power 5 gets to go into the big bowl game. So can Memphis pull it off in Arlington, Sterling?
No, I think heck no. Honestly, man, I think the Nittany Lions are gonna put a nice little beat down on the old Memphis Tigers. Look, I mean, this is just a classic. Memphis is rating 17th, but really, I mean, are they really the best? Are they really the 17th best team in the country?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think Penn State is just gonna, want to prove something, especially after missing out on the Big Ten championship game, and they're gonna come out, I think, and just punch them in the mouth. I think they're gonna win by. They're gonna cover in this game.
All right, sure. Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with Sterling. I think Penn State definitely covers the -7. I think there's just too much talent, definitely more talent on the field compared to Memphis, and harder schedule, the Big Ten compared to what Memphis had to face. Yeah, I think they run away with this one.
Joseph?
Penn State's a pretty big school on pride, and I think their pride was hurt, and they didn't make the Big Ten championship. And I think their pride's gonna stay hurt for this game. And then I just think they're gonna come out swinging, and I think they're gonna blow out Memphis. I'd take Penn State -20.
Oh,
Damn.
Nat?
Okay.
I
Doing
did-
dangerously.
I think that this is going to be a Texas-Georgia scenario where Georgia was mad they didn't make the playoffs last year, and then they lost to Texas. So I'm going to go with Memphis.
Well, there you go. Now Natalie's taking Memphis. Yeah, I saw this game. It seems interesting to me. It's not quite a David versus Goliath matchup. If it was like an Alabama or, one of the top teams, this would be harder to choose. But I'm going to go with Penn State, lay the 7. I just think there's too much talent, like you guys were saying. Memphis plays such a weak schedule. So give me Penn State. All right, in the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida, we got Virginia and Florida. Florida essentially gets a home game. They are a 14.5-point favorite against Virginia. Sterling, interesting matchup. Who you got?
Yeah, I think Florida's going to win. Can you remind me the quarterback for Florida? I forgot his name, but
is it Trisk? It's a backup guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like him a lot, but yeah, I could see this kind of going either way. But I think Virginia's going to keep it closer than people realize. But I think Florida is just going to. Yeah, there's just too much of a talent gap, and I like their quarterback too. So I'm picking them to win, but by less than. What is it, 14.5?
14.5.
By probably around a touchdown and a half.
So you're taking Virginia.
I'm taking, yeah, I guess I'm taking Florida to win, but I'm taking Virginia to cover. Yes.
All right. So
yeah.
Sterling's got Virginia. Jeff, who you got?
I think Sterling's nuts. I think Florida has a lot more talent, especially this game being down their home state. Down South Beach. It's not too far of a drive. I think Florida runs away with this one just like Clemson did to them in the ACC championship. Take the -14.5.
Sterling, actually, Colin, do you mind if I switch my pick? I didn't realize it was in Florida.
That's fine. Lock it in. What you got?
I'm going to take Florida on the over.
Florida? You're taking Florida? Okay.
I'm taking the cover, yeah.
Joseph?
All right, so we kind of saw what kind of team Virginia was when they played Clemson.
Yeah.
I think that's going to show again when they play Florida in the Orange Bowl.
Yep.
I don't think any other outcome than Florida running away with this one +14.
Nat?
I'm going to choose Virginia.
Okay. There you go. Hey, there's a possibility. Here's the thing. I saw Virginia beat Virginia Tech to make it to the ACC championship game. I had hopes for them against Clemson, and they just got demolished. And I feel like Florida is going to do the same thing. Sterling mentioned there's such a talent gap, and I just think it's going to be overwhelming for Virginia. Florida's basically got a home game. I think they win by 21 or more. All right, we got a fun one. My boys here in Salt Lake City headed down to San Antonio, Texas to take on the Longhorns of Austin. Utah's currently sitting at a 7-point favorite. Now, remember, Utah probably would have been in the playoffs if they hadn't lost to Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game. They totally blew it, dropped all the way down to 11. Now they're playing Texas in San Antonio as a 7-point favorite. Sterling, who you got?
See, this is kind of a weird game for me because I think you got, Utah is kind of an overrated team. I think that was a kind of exposed when they play Oregon, but Texas is an underachieving team, so it's like Texas has the talent gap, and I think they have a better quarterback, but they're also underachieving. But Utah's kind of overrated. But I think it being in Texas, I'm going to pick Texas to win, man. I think they're going to come out, playing in San Antonio. They're going to be like, okay, we don't want these Utah guys, these Utes, these Mormon boys, coming from Utah, coming down and beating us in our home state. So I'm going to pick Texas to win as much as it pains me.
Fair enough.
We are the most unbiased sports show and sports podcast
This
on
is
the
true.
internet.
This is true. Jeff,
I'm gonna
do
take
you
Texas.
agree?
No, I'm not biased at all, but I think Utah has proven this year, even though they, got a little beat down from Oregon and had a chance to go to the college football playoff. I think they're going to be upset, even though the games in, Texas, and I think a lot of Longhorn fans, even though they're upset, they're going to pack, the Alamo Bowl, and they're going to, go to San Antonio. They're going to come there and be rowdy. But I think Utah is going to come there and smash them with their defense and the -7.
All right. Joseph?
Yeah.
Now, we saw what Texas did to Georgia last year, and I'm thinking it's going to be about the same thing they're going to do to Utah. I think they're going to come in. I think they're going to whoop up on Utah.
Nat?
See, I don't think they're going to be able to do it again. So I'm going to choose Utah.
You have to be unbiased.
Yeah. This is an annoying matchup because, like Joseph said, it's basically the same scenario as last year. Georgia barely missed the playoffs, and I don't remember who got in, but they ended up playing Texas, and then it became like a huge win for Texas because Georgia was ranked like 4 or 5 or no, they were like ranked like 5 or 6. Same scenario this time. Utah barely missed the playoffs. But I'm going to be honest, I think Whittingham, the coach for Utah, is going to have them pumped down in Texas. I think they're going to come out and put a whooping on the Longhorns. Give me Utah, and I'm going to lay the 7. All right, another very interesting matchup. We got Michigan and Alabama down in Orlando, Florida at the Citrus Bowl. Alabama is currently a 7.5-point favorite. Sterling, who you thinking?
So who is Tua going to play in this game? Because I think that makes he's not. Okay.
No, he's way out for the season.
Okay, he's out. Okay.
I'm
I'm
gonna
pick. I'm gonna pick Bama to win. I'm gonna pick Bama to cover. Actually, I think they're gonna come out, just pissed off. Saban does a good job of. I think Saban is just so much better than Harbaugh, honestly, and the talent gap. So I'm gonna pick Alabama to cover.
Jeff?
Actually, I think differently on this one. I think I got Michigan. Michigan plus 7.5. I think Alabama. I think it's just not a game they really care about. It's kind of like Georgia last year when they're playing Texas. I think Michigan wants to prove something. They've kind of being a laughing stock this whole year.
Yeah.
And I think they come out firing and want to be something to look forward to going into next year. So I'll take plus 7.5.
All right, fair enough. Joseph?
Oh, I'm going to go with Alabama this year. It's one thing Nick Saban isn't. He's not a loser. And they got their butt kicked by Auburn, and I think he's going to get his guys fired up. They're going to get pissed off, and I think they're going to come in there and smoke Michigan.
Yeah. Natalie?
I want to choose Michigan because they were the college I wanted to go to for my whole high school years. But I'm going to choose Bama because I've seen how strong of a force they are.
Yep, fair enough. When Tua went out, I thought that Bama was going to drop off completely. But they still have so many weapons on the offensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So, as long as that quarterback gets it out quick to one of those guys in the wide receiver squad, I think they have potential to run away with this one. Michigan has played really tough all year, but when they get into the big games, they just haven't shown that they had the willpower to push to a victory. I don't like that there's a half point at the end, but give me Alabama, and I'm going to lay the 7.5. All right. Speaking of Auburn, we have Auburn and Minnesota. Auburn is currently a 7.5-point favorite, just like the last game. Sterling, who do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to pick Auburn to cover. I really like the way Auburn's played all year. I really like their defense. Their defensive line is probably the best defensive line in the nation. It's ferocious. And their quarterback, Bo Nix, has been getting better all year. He's, steadily improved. So I think they come out, and I think Minnesota's kind of on a hangover. You kind of get the feeling they kind of blew their, shot, use all their energy up, however you want to call it.
Sure.
Yeah, and now they kind of have that letdown. I think Auburn's still going to – I think Auburn's going to come out playing well and just dominate this game.
All right, cool. Jeff?
Yeah, I'm going to take Auburn to 7.5. I think Auburn has all seniors, just like Sterling said. Their defensive line is probably one of the best in the country. All the seniors are great. Their offensive line is a lot of seniors. It's probably one of the best they've had, since they've been in the national championship. And, I think they're going to go out on top. Minnesota, they had their chance. I think the boat has been sunk, and I think Auburn just comes out and beats them by maybe by 2 touchdowns. So.
Fair enough. Joseph? They must not. They must be frozen. So I guess I'll just go ahead and move on with my picks. So I am going to take Auburn. I agree with you guys. I don't like the half a point again, but we've seen what Bo Nix and that Auburn team can do. Their defense is stacked. I just don't see how Minnesota is going to keep up. I agree with you, Sterling. I think the boat has officially sunk. So I think Auburn runs away with it. Maybe Joseph and Natalie will be joining in, but until they come back, we will continue on without them. All right, so moving on to the Rose Bowl, the classic Rose Bowl. We got Wisconsin. We got Wisconsin and Oregon. Oregon is sitting at a 2.5-point underdog. Sterling, who do you think in this one?
Oh man, this is a tough matchup. I'm gonna pick Oregon to win. I feel like they're kind of coming off that high of winning the Pac-12. They're still in pretty good spirits. Wisconsin, you feel like they kind of shot their, blew their load on the in the Big Ten game. I mean, they did the best they could, and I feel like they're just kind of worn out at this point. So I'm picking Oregon to win this one.
Cool, Jeff.
I don't know about Sterling saying blow the load, but I got Wisconsin taking the -2.5. I think Jonathan Taylor is going to run all over him. I think he's one of the next best backs in the NFL coming up. I just think Oregon, they look great against Utah, but I think Wisconsin is a really, really good team, and I think they come out, and win the Rose Bowl, and just show why they always are just a great program.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think there is a little too much value being placed on Oregon after that Pac-12 championship game. We've seen Wisconsin come and whoop up on these big games. So I think Wisconsin can pull it off. I think they cover the 2.5. Book it. All right, so in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, Louisiana, we have Baylor and Georgia, another top 10 matchup. Georgia is currently sitting at a 6-point favorite. Sterling, interesting matchup. Who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to pick Georgia to win, but I'm going to pick Baylor to cover. I think, we've seen Georgia's offense struggle, and I think they have a great defense, I think. So I think they're going to have the better of that matchup, but I think they're going to struggle to cover basically with their offense. So yeah, and I like Baylor's offense. I think it'll be good enough to cover, but I think Georgia is still gonna win at the end of the day. So
gotcha. Jeff, who you got?
Yeah, I actually like Baylor in the +6. I think Georgia has, it's kind of hard to trust. They're kind of wishy-washy when it comes to things. Their defense is amazing, but never know about their offense.
For sure.
You never know how they're going to look. Their quarterback or their running backs come out. So I got to take Baylor. Their offense is great. So.
Well, I have to disagree with you on this one. I think Baylor has never seen a defense like Georgia. I don't think they have any chance of scoring on that team. Oh, looks like we got Joseph back. So Joseph and Natalie are back. Somehow it's magic. So we'll go back a couple games. Natalie, Joseph, we're currently on Baylor and Georgia. Georgia's a 6-point favorite. I am picking Georgia to cover the 6 because I just think that Georgia's defense is way too good. I think they'll put up enough points on offense. Give me Georgia, and I'm laying the 6. Who you got for this one, Joseph?
This is a tough one because we know what happened last year. Georgia got wrecked in that bowl game. So I don't know if they're going to be coming back with some sense of pride and whatnot. And they also got smoked by LSU. So I don't know how the momentum's going to be in the locker room if some people are going to forfeit their eligibility and just go to the draft. So I don't know. I think Baylor's way overrated, but I got to take Baylor in this one.
Fair enough. Nat, who you taking?
I think Baylor's overrated, and I'm choosing Georgia.
All right, there you go. So we're going to go back for Joseph and Natalie. Did y'all pick Minnesota Auburn? Y'all did.
No. Wait, no, we didn't. Joseph did.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. So, no, we didn't actually hear Joseph because it froze. So, Joseph, do you want to tell us who won?
Yeah.
We had a good answer.
It was the best answer so far.
So, who you got, Joseph?
I'm picking Minnesota in this one. I think they're going to come with the same fire that they brought at the beginning of this season. I think that Auburn, they beat Alabama. Like, that's their championship game. That's their rival.
True.
That's what they ended on. I think they're going to be coming in with, all right, like, what's next? What are we doing next year? I just think that Minnesota is going to have too much of a chip on their shoulder, and Auburn's not going to expect this.
So the boat's coming back.
Hey, man, fair enough. They're giving them 7.5, and this is a team that usually keeps it close. So, I mean, I can't blame you for that one. Natalie, who you got?
I like Minnesota's fire. I like their new coach. He's a real motivator. I think he'll get them motivated for this game, and they'll win.
Ooh.
All right, the Nat Cat is taking Minnesota. All right, so you guys also missed this one. So, Joseph, this is the Rose Bowl, of course, in Pasadena, California. Oregon is a 2.5-point underdog against Wisconsin. Who do you think?
I think Oregon's coming off a big win. They're going to keep the momentum going. I'm going Oregon.
Joseph's got Oregon. Nat, who you got?
I'm going to go Oregon as well. They have cooler uniforms.
There you go. Most unbiased sports podcast.
Checks over.
All right.
Well,
there you go. And also, you guys need to catch up on this one. Oh, wait, no. They picked this one.
Covered that one.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all picked Georgia Baylor?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So, moving on. Now we are in the college football playoff semifinals. In the Peach Bowl, Atlanta, Georgia, we got Oklahoma and LSU. LSU is a 14-point favorite. I don't know if we've seen this one with this kind of spread in a semifinal game. But, of course, we've seen LSU just dominate everyone that has been in their way. So, Sterling, starting with you, what's your take on this game?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's going to be closer than the Georgia game just from the standpoint of, Oklahoma actually has an offense to go against, to combat LSU's offense. But I still think, in any scenario, LSU is going to win. I think there's a good chance that OU does cover. But I think LSU's offense – defense lately has actually been playing a lot better. So I think LSU is going to cover this one. I got faith in Joe Burrow, Ed Orgeron, Joe Brady, that offense, and that running back and those receivers. That's just that's a match made in heaven right there. And I think that defense is going to rise up and put the hurting on old Jalen Hurts. So I'm picking them to cover.
All right, fair enough. Jeff, what do you think?
Yeah, if you're going to give me 14 points in a college football playoff game, I'll take Oklahoma.
Yeah, fair enough. Joseph?
You know what? Joe Burrows is a bad man. You can get 20 points. I think LSU is going to run away with this one.
Yeah.
Bad.
Nat?
I love the pick.
I also choose LSU. I think it'll be closer.
Yeah, I have to agree with the three of you guys. LSU this year, I feel like every time I've seen these big lines, I've been like, oh, I don't know, but they've proven me wrong every single time. So I have no reason to not go with them. Joe Burrow's going to light it up. That defense, I think, is going to hold Hurts at least, at the beginning or the end. I think LSU covers. All right, so the other semifinal game, we got Clemson and Ohio State in the Fiesta Bowl in Glendale, Arizona. Ohio State is currently a 2-point underdog. Sterling, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, honestly, I've thought about this game a lot, and I think as far as the matchup goes, it's so hard to pick. Both these teams are so talented and so even, right? They're just so balanced. Like they can throw the ball, they can run the ball. They both play great defense, but I think at the end of the day, Clemson's schedule, I think, is going to work in a huge favor. I mean, we've seen this before where Clemson comes in, right, and they're fresher than the other teams because they play such a schedule that they end up winning. So I think Clemson's actually going to win this game. Yeah, so give me Clemson.
Fair enough.
Cover.
Jeff?
Yeah, give me Clemson the -2. I think they're fresher, just like Sterling said. I think Ohio State has had the tougher schedule. I think they're a little beat up. I think Ohio State kind of looked a little iffy.
Vulnerable.
In the Big Ten championship, and I think Clemson and their quarterback will look good, and I think they, possibly win it by a field goal, and I'll take the -2 and cover.
All right, Joseph.
I think Clemson's been underrated all this year just because of the weak schedule they've been playing. But I definitely have to take Clemson on this one. Wouldn't be surprised if Trevor Lawrence ran away with it. I think Ohio State's been overrated this entire season.
Wow. Hot take. Nat?
That is a hot take. Ooh, it's on fire.
Take unbiased opinion.
Unbiased hot take.
Marshall Sports, unbiased opinions. Nat, who you got?
I take Ohio State. I think they want it more.
They want it more.
Yeah, no. Hey, Natalie, I am 100%. I am 100% with you. We watched Ohio State dominate all year long, very similar to the way LSU has dominated their competition. And Ohio State has actually played some tough opponents, unlike Clemson, who there have been times this season. I mean, they haven't necessarily had a great season. They haven't been dominating. Now, I know towards the end they've got it together, but I think this is going to be one of the best games of the entire year, of the entire bowl season. Give me Ohio State. I think they're going to cover the 2. I think I could win, even on a last-second field goal from Clemson. Give me the 2 points. Book it. And hopefully I have put some winners in, and that sums it up for us. So I think Natalie's tallying all of our picks together. So what we will do is we will keep you guys updated throughout. You can follow us on Instagram at @MarshallSports_. We're also on Twitter at MarshallSports5. We'll keep you guys updated, and then we will do a reaction video once this is all said and done, and whoever wins will be able to grill everyone else on how bad they are at picking games. And it'll just be a lot of fun. So
exactly. Loser
yeah.
has to take the SAT.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Loser has to buy everyone wings at B-Dubs on a Thursday. 65-cent wing night.
There you go. Yeah.
Colin,
So
Hey, Holly, no.
So you're staying cheap. Then we'll be good. All right.
Exactly.
All right, cool. So yeah, that's a wrap. Like I said, we'll be back with a reaction video once bowl season is done. We'll probably also do a prediction video once the national championship is set in stone. But until then, this is Marshall Sports. We are full of unbiased opinions. And yeah, see you guys later.
See you guys.